Two American professionals, elite agents at the top of their game, are trapped in the world's most secure prison. But within these same walls is her.
Hello, boys.
A stunningly beautiful girl with a look so innocent it could fool anyone. But beneath that facade
You want to arrest me?
lies something far more dangerous.
Arrest me.
The story kicks off in Rome, where the best FBI agent, Hartley John, joins forces with Interpol to prevent the craziest heist. John is convinced that the infamous thief Nolan Booth plans to steal a priceless artifact, one of Cleopatra's legendary eggs. Despite his warnings, the museum director dismisses John's concerns, trusting in the supposedly impenetrable security. However, John's sharp instincts quickly uncover the truth. Examining the displayed egg, he realizes it's a fake.
His first egg is covered in 18-karat gold, and gold reflects radiation.
The real artifact has already been stolen. His suspicions are confirmed when a Sodakan test reveals the egg's inability to retain heat.
Seal the room, now!
As alarms blare and the museum descends into chaos, Nolan reveals himself in the midst of the confusion. What follows is a heart-pounding chase through the museum. Nolan, relying on his unmatched parkour skills, easily outmaneuvers guards while ensuring his methods remain non-lethal. John, relentless in his pursuit, corners Nolan briefly, but the thief's sharp wit provides just the distraction he needs to escape. The chase escalates to the scaffolding, where Nolan performs a daring slide down a pipe, leaving John momentarily stranded. Refusing to give up, John commandeers a luxury sports car, leading to a high-speed pursuit through the historic streets of Rome. Despite the agent's best efforts, Nolan's cunning allows him to slip away. The scene shifts to 56 hours later, where Nolan basks in his victory at an opulent hideout in Bali. Relaxing with a drink in hand and the stolen egg on display, he seems confident that he's outsmarted everyone. But his triumph is short-lived.
Special Agent John Hartley, FBI.
John, having tracked him down with the help of a SWAT team, storms the villa and arrests the stunned thief. Nolan's ego takes another hit when John reveals that he was betrayed by the Bishop. A master criminal who outranks Nolan as the world's most wanted thief. The stolen egg is secured for transport to Interpol custody, but a twist unfolds during the operation. An undercover agent switches the artifact with a counterfeit, none other than the Bishop herself. The next day, things spiral further for John. Accused of aiding the theft due to fabricated evidence of $8 million deposited into his Swiss account,
Received an $8 million wire transfer.
he's arrested despite his protests. Stripped of his reputation, John is sent to a maximum security prison in the icy wilderness of Russia. Adding insult to injury, John discovers that his cellmate is none other than Nolan Booth. With no choice but to coexist, the pair finds themselves on the verge of an unlikely and uneasy alliance. Locked in the frigid Russian prison, Booth begins piecing together the full scope of their predicament. The real mastermind behind their capture is none other than the Bishop.
One move, the Bishop took out her lead competitor and her lead investigator.
A cunning thief with an unmatched reputation. Nolan reluctantly explains the stakes. Cleopatra's eggs are more than ancient treasures. They're the key to an extraordinary prize. An Egyptian billionaire has promised a jaw-dropping $300 million
$300 million?
to anyone who can deliver all 3 eggs in time for his daughter's lavish wedding. While 2 eggs are accounted for, the third remains lost in mystery. Nolan confesses that he had been scheming to collect all 3 eggs for himself.
Cleopatra's second egg.
But John's interference threw a wrench in his plans. Now it's clear that the Bishop had orchestrated the entire situation to eliminate her rivals and claim the reward for herself. Before the two can strategize further, prison guards interrupt their conversation, escorting them to the warden's office. To their astonishment, the Bishop herself awaits them, brazenly posing as the prison captain. Confident and smug, she makes Nolan an offer. Help her locate the elusive third egg, and she'll cut him in on 10% of the reward. Nolan scoffs at the proposition,
I'll get you out of here and give you 10%.
delivering a sharp retort before turning her down. Unfazed, the Bishop departs, leaving behind a clear message. She's always several steps ahead. Frustrated but determined, John seizes the opportunity to convince Nolan to team up. Together, he argues, they can escape the prison, stop the Bishop, and recover the eggs.
If we work together to catch her, I could do things to the Bishop you can't do.
Nolan is initially reluctant, but ultimately agrees, seeing a chance to reclaim his title as the world's most wanted thief. With their uneasy alliance formed, the two begin to plot their daring escape. The first move comes in the prison dining hall, where Nolan creates chaos with a calculated stunt. He loudly accuses John of being an undercover FBI agent, instantly catching the attention of a hulking inmate who sees the accusation as an invitation for violence.
This man is not a cop!
A full-scale brawl erupts, escalating into a scene of mayhem as guards rush in to restore order. Both John and Nolan are dragged out and reprimanded. John is furious, warning Nolan to cut the antics, but Nolan reveals that the brawl was no impulsive act. It was a cover for him to swipe a keycard, a critical piece of their escape plan. Later, the tension between them eases as Nolan shares a deeply personal story. He reveals that his path to becoming a thief stems from a lifetime of seeking validation from his neglectful father, a police officer who never acknowledged his accomplishments. The moment builds an unexpected camaraderie between the two, forging the beginnings of a bond amidst their differences. With their partnership solidified, they map out a 3-step plan for their escape.
Planned out a simple 3-step process.
The first step involves crafting a makeshift bomb using improvised materials like soap, toothpaste, and nitric acid. Their carefully calculated explosion causes widespread chaos, distracting guards and creating an opening for their escape. Next, they loosen a stone in the prison wall, creating a narrow window to freedom. Finally, they plan their most treacherous move, scaling the prison's icy mountain face under the cover of night. As the explosion triggers pandemonium, John and Nolan execute their escape with precision. Scaling the steep prison walls with a mix of determination and adrenaline, they move swiftly but not without setbacks. Nolan slips on the treacherous terrain, nearly plummeting to his death, but John manages to catch him in the nick of time. Their precarious climb eventually leads them to a helicopter landing pad. A lone guard, completely engrossed in his phone as he scrolls through photos of Putin and listens to Russian music, fails to notice the escapees until it's too late. Nolan swiftly knocks him out and takes control of the helicopter, while John fends off pursuing guards with remarkable accuracy.
Go!
The two manage to take off, escaping the prison and setting their sights on the mission ahead. The tension soars as Nolan and John prepare to make their daring helicopter escape from the prison's snow-covered grounds. Just as they're lifting off, a guard fires a rocket launcher, obliterating the bridge behind them in a fiery explosion. The impact rocks the helicopter, sending it swaying dangerously. Nolan, refusing to leave John behind, grabs a mounted minigun and unleashes a barrage of cover fire, forcing the guards to retreat. John seizes the moment, leaping onto the helicopter as another missile streaks through the air. It narrowly misses them, instead hitting the prison itself, triggering a chain of explosions. The duo flies off into the night, the inferno of the destroyed prison lighting up the sky behind them. Miles away, the bishop observes the chaos with calculated detachment. From her hidden location, she uses an analyst's computer in London to send a covert message to Interpol, alerting them to the escape of John and Nolan. Smirking at her own ingenuity, she sets the stage for the next move in her intricate game.
Freeze!
Meanwhile, Nolan and John rendezvous with Nolan's trusted ally, Tambwe. At a secluded airstrip, Tambwe greets them with a new plane and a carefully laid out plan for their next heist. Their target is a notorious weapons dealer's mansion in Valencia, which houses the second Cleopatra egg. The plan, while straightforward, is fraught with risk. The mansion is a fortress. Armed guards patrol on a tight rotation every 45 seconds. A network of 87 cameras ensures no blind spots, and the vault is sealed with a half-meter thick titanium door protected by a biometric lock.
So you can't drill it, and you can't make it go boom.
To bypass the defenses, they'll rely on a deepfake video and a clever ruse to extract the dealer's phone for the necessary password.
His thumbprint, because he never upgraded his iPhone.
The scene shifts to Valencia, where the duo infiltrates the dealer's extravagant masquerade party. John, dressed to blend in with the elite guests, navigates the glittering ballroom with ease. Nolan, on the other hand, dons the guise of a waiter, weaving through the crowd with a tray of drinks. John spots the bishop mingling among the guests, her every move exuding confidence. Their gazes meet briefly, and she flashes a sly smile, impressed by John's unexpected knack for undercover work. Before John can act, the weapons dealer takes center stage, delivering a grandiose speech. Seizing the distraction, John slips behind the scenes and swiftly pockets the dealer's phone.
To get his phone, not waste time playing footsie with the bishop.
Unbeknownst to the pair, Agent Das, a relentless Interpol officer, is also present at the party, quietly observing from the sidelines. As Nolan creates a diversion by spilling wine on an unsuspecting guest, he and John excuse themselves to the restroom. There, they hack into the phone, retrieving the crucial password. Timing their actions perfectly, with the 45-second guard shift change, they make their way to the vault. The titanium door looms before them, but the deep fake trick works flawlessly, granting them access. Inside, they are greeted by a treasure trove of priceless artifacts, the centerpiece being the second Cleopatra egg. Their triumph is short-lived as alarms blare, signaling that their intrusion has been detected. Security teams mobilize, with Agent Das leading the charge. John reacts instinctively, taking down a guard and locking the vault door to buy them precious time. However, the duo isn't alone. From the shadows, the bishop steps forward,
Looking for something specific or...
revealing she had reached the vault first. A tense confrontation ensues, quickly escalating into a full-blown fight. The confined space amplifies the stakes as John and Nolan combine their efforts to subdue her. But the bishop's agility and cunning give her the upper hand. The chaos peaks when the weapons dealer storms in with his armed guards, revealing that he has been colluding with the bishop all along.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
The betrayal leaves John and Nolan outmatched, and they are overpowered. The next day, John and Nolan regain consciousness in the weapons dealer's underground lair, located beneath a bull ring, bound to chairs. They are subjected to the dealer's interrogation. His patience wears thin as he demands Nolan reveal the location of the elusive third egg. Thinking quickly, Nolan concocts a story, claiming the egg is hidden in Egypt.
It's in Egypt!
Where in Egypt?
Though the tale is pure fabrication, it momentarily satisfies the dealer. Seizing the opportunity, the bishop betrays her accomplice in a sudden and ruthless move. Offering the dealer champagne, she poisons him in one smooth motion. As he collapses, gasping for breath, the bishop smirks triumphantly and walks away with the second Cleopatra egg in hand, leaving John and Nolan to face the fallout. The tension erupts into chaos as Nolan seizes a fleeting opportunity and knocks the bishop unconscious. The room ignites into a chaotic gunfight as guards scramble to contain the situation. Amid the crossfire, a stray bullet strikes the restraints binding John and Nolan. With newfound freedom, they waste no time escaping through a hidden exit. But freedom comes with a catch. They stumble directly into the center of the bull ring above. Blinded momentarily by the bright sunlight, they realize the crowd surrounding them is roaring with excitement. A massive, enraged bull charges toward them, its horns gleaming ominously. Nolan, in a moment of panic, flails his arms, inadvertently mimicking the movements of a matador. The crowd goes wild, mistaking their clumsy attempts at survival for a deliberate bullfighting performance. John narrowly dodges the bull, rolling to safety as Nolan scrambles up the side of the ring. Exhausted and battered, the two manage to flee through the maze of cheering spectators, disappearing into the winding streets beyond. Later that night, as the adrenaline fades, John and Nolan share a rare quiet moment. John, hesitant at first, opens up about his past. He reveals the painful truth that his father, once a legendary thief, abandoned their family when he was just a child. This betrayal fueled his decision to dedicate his life to justice, becoming an FBI profiler to right the wrongs his father had left behind. Nolan listens intently, recognizing a shared pain in John's story.
Your dad was a cop, so you became a crook.
In return, he confesses the truth about the third egg's mysterious location. After World War II, Nolan explains, a German officer fled to Argentina carrying a suitcase that contained not only treasures, but also the coordinates to the egg's hiding place.
We've held Cleopatra's third egg in his hands.
Encrypted inside a watch. Decades later, Nolan's father, an expert treasure hunter, stumbled upon the watch and followed its clues to an abandoned Nazi bunker deep within the Argentine Amazon. Nolan had spent years piecing together the fragmented story, and now the final piece had fallen into place.
The secret to the third egg's location.
Determined, the duo embarks on a perilous journey to the Amazon. Trekking through dense jungles and swamps teeming with danger, they finally uncover the hidden bunker. To their astonishment, the bunker's lights still flicker to life as they step inside. It's as if time has stood still. Beyond a set of reinforced steel doors, they find the long-lost treasure trove, a dazzling array of artifacts from the Nazi era. At its center lies the third Cleopatra egg, glinting under the dim light. Their celebration is short-lived. Before they can secure the egg, the bishop arrives, her cool demeanor betraying the fact that she had tracked them the entire way. Hot on her heels is Agent Das, leading an elite SWAT team.
Drop your weapon!
The confined bunker becomes a battlefield as a standoff explodes into chaos. Bullets ricochet off steel walls as the three parties fight for control of the treasure. Amid the pandemonium, John and Nolan seize an opportunity, diving into an armored truck stored in the bunker. With John behind the wheel and Nolan clutching the egg, they smash through a hidden passage, leaving destruction in their wake. The truck barrels through the jungle, but their relief turns to panic as they realize the path ahead ends abruptly at the edge of a towering cliff. Unable to stop in time, the truck hurtles over the edge, plunging into the river far below. The force of the impact scatters the cargo, sending the egg tumbling downstream. Nolan emerges from the river, gasping for air, clutching the egg triumphantly. But when he realizes John is missing, he abandons the treasure without hesitation, diving back into the river to search for his partner. Moments later, John surfaces, coughing but alive. Nolan helps him to shore, and the two share a rare moment of genuine relief, their bond solidified by the harrowing experience. The moment of victory is fleeting. The Bishop is apprehended by Agent Das, but the scene takes a shocking turn as John reveals his ultimate betrayal. From the very beginning, he and the Bishop had been working together, not as rivals, but as lovers.
I love you.
Ready?
And partners in crime. Their elaborate scheme was meticulously designed to manipulate Nolan into uncovering the location of the third egg. John and the Bishop had played their parts perfectly, all to achieve their end game. Nolan, devastated and enraged, finds himself tied to a tree, helplessly watching as John and the Bishop vanish into the jungle with all 3 Cleopatra eggs in their possession. The betrayal cuts deep, leaving Nolan vowing to one day outsmart the pair
I always appreciate a quality double cross.
who had so thoroughly deceived him. In the heart of Cairo, Egypt, a lavish celebration unfolds in a sprawling palace adorned with golden lights and intricate decorations. The occasion? An Egyptian billionaire's daughter is getting married. And as part of the festivities, the billionaire unveils the 3 legendary Cleopatra eggs. The priceless artifacts gleaming under the chandelier's light are presented with great fanfare. Guests, dressed in their finest, gasp in awe as the eggs are displayed on a pedestal surrounded by rose petals and gold accents. The bride, overwhelmed with joy, clutches her father's arm as cameras flash, immortalizing the moment. To elevate the celebration further, a surprise performance by world-famous DJ Avicii electrifies the atmosphere. As the beat drops, the crowd erupts into cheers, dancing under a cascade of confetti and laser lights. The bride's attention drifts from the eggs as she revels in the music, spinning on the dance floor with her bridesmaids. However, the glamorous event takes a dramatic turn. In the middle of the festivities, Agent Doss and her Interpol team launch a raid.
Remain in your seats. This will be over shortly.
Bursting through the doors, the agents swiftly take control of the scene. The music cuts off abruptly, replaced by the sound of shouting and chaos. Guests scatter in confusion as heavily armed officers confiscate the Cleopatra eggs. The billionaire, along with his mob boss associates, is handcuffed and led away in disgrace. Even the bride, still clutching her wedding bouquet, is apprehended as the opulent event unravels into a nightmare. Amid the commotion, John and the Bishop watch from a discreet vantage point, unnoticed amidst the chaos. The faintest hint of satisfaction crosses their faces as they slip away into the night, leaving the fallout to Interpol. For them, the $300 million reward for orchestrating this elaborate setup is the ultimate victory. 6 months later, in the serene waters of Sardinia, Italy, John and the Bishop bask in luxury aboard a sleek, multi-million-dollar yacht. The Mediterranean sun glistens off the turquoise waves as they sip cocktails and enjoy their newfound wealth. The atmosphere is one of carefree indulgence, with laughter and soft music filling the air. Their peace is abruptly shattered when Nolan makes an unexpected entrance. With his signature charm and a mischievous grin, he steps onto the deck, instantly drawing their attention. John and the Bishop exchange wary glances, their relaxation giving way to tension. Nolan, unfazed, holds up a tablet and reveals his masterstroke. He's tracked their offshore accounts and handed the details over to Interpol. Checkmate.
Any eggs before you double-cross the billionaire? Nice touch, by the way.
He quips, as their expressions shift to stunned disbelief. Their accounts are frozen, leaving them without access to the fortune they thought was secure. Nolan revels in the moment, declaring with a smirk, "The con artists have been conned." Not one to dwell on their misfortune, Nolan gets straight to business. He proposes a new heist, one that promises an even greater reward.
It's a 3-thief job.
Double the stakes, double the excitement. However, the job requires the unique combination of skills only the 3 of them possess. John, still bristling from Nolan's intrusion, initially rejects the idea. But the bishop, ever the pragmatist, persuades him otherwise. With their financial lifeline cut off, they have little choice but to team up again. Despite their animosity, there's an undeniable chemistry in their teamwork. John and Nolan in particular share a surprising camaraderie. Their constant banter and begrudging respect have evolved into something almost resembling friendship, or at least a mutual understanding. Nolan, ever the Joker, even dubs them best friends forever, earning an eye roll from John and a chuckle from the bishop. As the yacht sails toward their next adventure, news breaks worldwide. Interpol has issued a new red notice, officially branding John, Nolan, and the bishop as 3 of the most wanted criminals on the planet. The trio, undeterred, begins laying the groundwork for their next daring heist. The camera pans out, revealing their target, the Louvre in Paris. Beneath the iconic glass pyramid lies their goal, one of the most valuable artifacts in history. With a confident smirk, Nolan quips,
"This time, we're going big."
The scene fades to black, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, eager for the next chapter in this thrilling saga.